Welcome to the Initiative for Faith in Family, where we are strengthening the home. We're in a series on intentional parenting, and today we're going to talk about a time to rest. Rest. Something that we take our cue from our Heavenly Father. If we look back into Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, what we see is the creation account. God calling heaven and earth into being, right? We're seeing him create, the sea and the land and the birds of the air and the beasts of the field. And he's creating mankind, a being in his own image. In 6 days, our Heavenly Father works to create something so beautiful that he calls good. And on the seventh day, he rests. And as we proceed more into the Old Testament, we see as God gives the people of Israel the law, he's inviting them to take a Sabbath, a day of rest. And this can be difficult today, can't it? Where we're living in a world that is hustling so fast. It wants to move quickly, and there are a lot of things to do. There's jobs to be done. There's lunches to be made in the mornings. There's getting the kids ready for school, getting them off to school. There's the kids, if you got infants and toddlers, waking up early and just trying to stay alive with your energy. And then as the kids are getting older, you have club sports and you have all of these activities to keep things hustling. And it's hard to take a step back and go, wait a minute, we created for more than just this. More than productivity, more than rushing and being quick with our lives. And the answer to that is yes. One of the biblical understandings of this word rest wasn't just to cease from all that is necessary on a given day, but it was also that on the Sabbath, everybody would cease and they would embrace this reality of the presence of God actually coming and resting upon them. So it wasn't just stopping doing things, but it was becoming aware again of who is the one who is over all that we have and all that we do. This is why Sabbath is not some idea of a restriction, but it's a gift to God's people. It's something that he gives us to say, hey, I've created you for something more intimate than just working. And not to say that working is bad. God created us for work too. But when we rest, what we are doing is we're invited back into the reality that we see in John 15. That he is the vine and that we are the branch. That in fact, we get to live a lifestyle where we are not the source of ourselves, but we are attached to a source who never runs dry. We're attached to a source who always has enough in everything that we do and in everything that we have. One of my favorite New Testament passages is in Matthew 11. Jesus is looking at his followers and he says, "Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." You know what I love about this passage is that Jesus never commissions them away from that. And oftentimes we think of rest as something that we are coming to do and then we leave from. And yet Jesus is going, no. I'm not just teaching you to do something on a day. I'm going to teach you a way of life. I'm going to teach you that life with me, and only life with me, is a life where you're going to get to experience and embrace and abide in rest. And so this can be kind of difficult to do in all of our busy schedules. And the truth of the matter is this is going to take intentionality. It's going to take time to sit down and look at your schedules and look at our lives and go, do we have a healthy balance here? And where have we made space to stop, to cease from producing, and to look around us and become aware of the presence of God in our midst? Oftentimes in the Christian calendar, this can be on Sundays where you wake up and instead of going to work, you go to worship with one another. You take your family to go and gather with the people of God and worship, open the scriptures, maybe take the sacraments of communion and be present with one another, become aware of the presence of God, and then be present with one another. So the invitation for us today as parents, or simply the people of God, is embrace a life in a reality of rest.